Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're all staying warm. I miss you guys, and hopefully we'll get to see each other soon. I wanted to start it today and welcome you to this series of videos that I'm hopefully gonna try to get more videos. I already had a malfunction with previous video that I tried to upload, so I'm terribly sorry for that. Just didn't upload. I'm gonna try to upload this through YouTube. Hopefully it's gonna work. And again, this will be a series of videos that we're going to dissect the whole training, thing that we've been doing and try to understand more deeply what is the rationale behind the workout that we're doing, and how are we going to maximize and optimize the workout so that we will maximize the calorie burn, outtake, and gain as much muscle as we can, all the benefits of training. So hopefully gonna be able to get some more videos with time. Let's start with this one, and we'll talk about how we build the workout, how do I do it, and maybe hopefully you're gonna be able to implicate it to your training, and let me know if there's something I can help you, if you didn't understand something, if there's something that I need to clarify more. Just send me a message on the WhatsApp, on my private WhatsApp, and I'll try to bring it up and answer it on the video. And let's start. So as every training starts, so did we. We're starting with the warm-up portion. All right, the warm-up portion, and I'm gonna say warm-up / mobility, because we're gonna do what we call general classic warm-up, just like you remember from high school. And the reason that we are doing warm-up is to elevate the body temperature. That will help the viscosity, okay, of the blood, of the fluid of the blood, and in the arteries and the veins, and the viscosity will help us, move the muscle better, move the tissue. I'm just gonna say move the tissue. Let's just not say muscles, we'll say tissues, okay? So we wanna elevate the core temperature of the body and to elevate the temperatures in the tissues. Ligaments, tendons, all of it will work better when the temperature is a little warmer. Second thing that we're doing with the warm-up, spoke to you guys about it a few times. Every joint is in a capsule, and in that capsule there's something called synovial liquid, and that liquid releases and it sort of lubricates the area, the joint, and helps the movement to be less rigid and more smooth. So there is that in the warm-up, all the things that we do when we turn our hands in circles and we do with the broomsticks that I'm going to show you soon. This stuff will help release that synovial liquid into that joint and lubricate that joint, making that movement a lot more smoother and cleaner. So we got the temperature, the viscosity, and the synovial liquid in the joints. There is that aspect of waking up the neurological system. We're waking up the neurological system. We're making it alert, making it ready for the workout. It's a very important thing because the neurological system plays a critical role in our workout. So there is that. So the jumping jacks, the knees to chest, the heels to butt, the burpees sometimes, all of those exercises that are basically very cardiovascular output, shines in them. Your heartbeat goes up, and we're not loading those exercises usually. Maybe with a band, maybe with a battle rope, but we're not loading the warm-up exercises. We don't want to load it. We don't want to right away load the tissue with heavy weights. We just want to first, I'm going to say, as a metaphor, we want to introduce the movement to the neurological system, and then after we did it, sort of like on dry with no load on it, with no weight, we can go on and start loading on it in the workout. So there is that aspect of warm up. And the second part of the, warm up slash mobility is the mobility. And the mobility drills are meant to activate and engage the muscles that we specifically targeting for the workout. Okay, so if we were doing squats or lunges or just general, leg exercises, then we're gonna do mobility drills for the hip joint, the knee, calves, the foot. And if I know, or you guys know before the workout, that we're going to do a more of a upper body, that torso area workout, then we're going to emphasize our mobility drills, our specific mobility drills on the shoulder area, elbows, wrists, all right? And we're going to get that mobility is more specific, and the job of the mobility is just like it sounds like, is to mobilize the tissue, the bones, the joints, the muscles, the ligaments, the tendons, to mobilize it into the right place before we're starting to load on it and we're starting to exercise. So mobility has that aspect of mobility drills before the workout. There is also a whole aspect of mobility drills that we're doing in terms of rehabilitation, in terms of decreasing and desensitizing pain in the tissue. So I'll teach you guys a few mobility drills that we can do before we go to bed and when we feel painful. And that's a whole different aspect of mobility. That's a more physical therapy aspect of mobility, which is a big part of mobility. But what I'm talking about right now is specific mobility drills that we do before the workout to engage and activate the muscles that we're targeting. For example, for all the girls in our group, you probably remember how I insisted that every workout we start with the bend above the knees. We're doing that, dog peeing position, bringing the hip to the side and then up, working against the bend, and then lying down on the side of the body and just doing some hip abduction, just raising the hip up and activating the TFL, activating the glutes. And this is a perfect example for a mobility drill, okay, which is we're not loading the tissue with any weights, we're just using the bend, and we're specifically targeting a certain area that we want to work. So usually with the girls that we did more legs exercise and more squats and lunges, obviously we wanted to target the glutes. That's why we did that mobility drill. That's why we did a few of mobility drills. Bridging, by the way, classic Pilates bridge is a very good mobility, activating the glutes, waking it up, before we're starting to work out. So keep that in mind, that every workout that we do must start with the warm-up portion and the mobility portion. And don't skip that, guys. Don't just say, okay, like I know the theory and I know about, look at the animals out in nature, look at a cheetah. She moves from 0 to 100, no warm-up, no nothing. She doesn't get sore muscles, she doesn't get injured. It's true, your body is capable of doing that, but you are exposing yourself to a higher risk of injury, okay? And none of you are living the lifestyle of a cheetah, okay? She hunts, she walks around. Most of us are, desk jockeys, desk athletes, sit most of our day, 8 hours, 10 hours, sometimes 12 hours a day. So your body needs that warm up, those mobility exercise, because it's not like you're walking around in the savannah all day looking for food and water and then you're just moving on a gazelle or something. Our lifestyle is very different than the cheetahs. That's why I do highly recommend that you will put that 10 minutes, all right, 10 minutes. You don't need more than 10 minutes before the workout of those mobility drills and the warm-up. And I'm going to explain about the warm-up in a few minutes. Okay, so when we finish that, we move to the main portion of the workout. Usually, I want you guys to decide before you come into the workout, what is my main course? What is my main course for this workout? Am I going and the main course should be around and surrounded from the functional movements that I spoke to you guys about. We talked about it many times. What is functional training? It's basically trying to imitate everyday movement, everyday activities that we do, stuff from a day-to-day basis, and just to do an imitation of that and to transfer those movements into the gym, into the box, into wherever you work out. Doesn't really matter. So that's what we're doing. We're taking the same movements and we're loading on it. We're doing it at a high speed, high velocity, heavy weights. And obviously, and when we get out of the gym, those movements, when we need to execute them on a day-to-day basis, they will be easy for us because we already executed in a higher level. So that is what you always keep in mind is what we're doing, the way that I train, at least if you like the way I train and if you believe in the way that I train. So I believe in functional training, and that means heavy compound movements, big movements that I can transfer to the day to day. So when we talk about deciding what workout I'm going to do today, I want you to pick one of those functional movements. So the movements could be pushing and pulling, and usually we'll get those two movements together, right? Pushing and pulling, if I'm going to be and that would usually be more of a upper body workout day, if I'm going to put more emphasis on the pushing and pulling, right? Pushing and pulling, all those chest exercises that we do, push-ups, these are all pushing patterns. And all the rope climbing and pulleys, the pulley machine, and all of the picking up the weights from the floor, these are pulling exercises, usually targeting, mainly we're talking about upper body. So am I going to the gym today and I'm going to target the upper body? I'm going to do some pushing and pulling movement, and I'm going to do those movements right after another. I'm not going to split the workout into 3, 4, 5 different exercises for pushing and then after do another set of a few exercises of pulling. No, the best way, physiologically, anatomically speaking, to train that area, that organ, that joint, that movement, okay, the muscles, will be to work on that one movement pattern and then on the opposite movement pattern right after the other. Okay, there's a whole mechanism in anatomy. One muscle gets longer, one muscle gets contract, and then the opposite, and then turns out that they work the best in that way. Okay, it's an old system, and that's how you should do it. So if I pick up a pushing exercise, I'm going to do a pulling exercise right after. Remember that, and I'm going to show it to you. I'm just going to demonstrate it to you later. So the other, when we go up to the lower body, we're talking about squatting, lunging, jumping. These are the main, in deadlifting, these are the main movements, functional movements that I think that you guys should practice when it comes to the lower body. So if I know squats are my main exercise today, I'm probably gonna do some mobility on the hips and on the knees, and then I'm gonna start with let's call it a low level squat exercise. For example, air squats or goblet squat with the kettlebell right here with a low weight, or box squat. I'm going to start with a very easy squat exercise. Just again, continuing that whole mobility warm-up thing, just getting the body ready for the main course. So I'm having those appetizers of squats. So I'm gonna take it in. I'm gonna do a few exercises of 2 exercises that, you know, are low level squat. Maybe gonna add another exercise just to target the legs. Not a squat exercise, but like climbing up on the step, just to target the legs, just to wear them off a little bit, to fatigue them, to keep that time under tension more. Okay? And the loading will be, you know, after 15, 20 minutes into the workout, should start, you know, I would say 15, 20 minutes will be the time you should start loading the real weight that you want to load on the squat. If you want to do a back squat with a bar on your back, if you want to do a heavy goblet squat, if you're going for heavy hack squat on the Smith machine like we did, you know, with the legs forward, leaning on the bar, the Smith machine I'm going to show you later. Pick up one of those squats, superset them, okay? Add some lunges to that exercise, add some glutes into that exercise, okay? We can do hip thrust, we can do bridges in between, okay? And that will be our main course. Around that main course, we can add what I like to add, exercises that are not heavy with the loads, but they are heavy with the heartbeat, right? So we're gonna get our heartbeat high. If it's a salt bike, if it's that treadmill dead walk, if you have access to a sled, that's the best. Sled is great, you know, and any other form of high pulse, high heart rate exercise, even a jumping jacks with the battle rope that will get our heartbeat up, will help us. Why? Because we talked about the optimal way to train and eventually also to burn calories is what we call in the fitness world HEAT, which is an acronym from high intensity interval training, and emphasis on the interval training that has been proven to burn the most calories. Not like like a long run that you run for 2 hours, 3 hours. Interval training where you play with your heartbeat, with your heart rate, sorry. So that factor helps burn more calories. Doesn't let your body go through the whole adaptation process that I spoke to you guys about. The body gets adapted to stuff very quick, and then he's a smart mechanism. He wants to, he wants to save calories, to save energy. He doesn't want to spend it, and if he can learn the mechanism, in 2 hours he learns the mechanism, and he's not going to waste as many calories as you guys want him to spend. But if you surprise them with different exercise, you surprise the body with a different exercise every time, and you'll do it for a short period of time, get your heart rate up to the sky, right? About, let's say, 75 to 85 up to a 90 of your, percent of your max heart rate. Don't go to 90, but somewhere between 75 and 85 is pretty good, okay, from your max heart rate. And you stay on that heart rate for that 20 seconds, 30 seconds of Tabata, of that way that we train 20-10 or 30-10 or 45-10, doesn't matter. And you stay on that heart rate for that long, and then rest, and maybe afterwards do even a strength exercise that the heart rate doesn't go up so much, like bench press or dumbbell chest press on the bench, or I'm sitting down and doing shoulder press, or I'm sitting down and doing leg extensions on the machine, right? So I'm still working the muscles, I'm still continuing the work, but I'm playing with, I'm controlling my heart rate. You could say playing or controlling my heart rate, and then again I would bring it up, and that way when we play with that's what we call interval, okay? That way we're gonna burn more calories. So remember that this is the base of everything that we do in the workout. We work in those tablets. With most of you, I work with the tablets. When we wanna burn and maximize the calorie burn, we'll work with the Tabata tablets, and you can find it on YouTube. Easy, just write Tabata, and it will give you an option: 20-10, 30-10, 45-10, 60-20. What does that mean? 20-10, 20 seconds work, 10 seconds rest. 30 seconds work, 10 seconds rest. 45 seconds work, 15 seconds rest. Okay? And usually Tabata goes for 8 rounds. That's the classic Tabata. It goes for 8 rounds. So what are you going to do? You're going to pick up 2 exercises. In the beginning, I tell beginners we do 4 exercises, and then we do each exercise twice for 20 seconds. But you guys are more advanced than that, and if you worked with me for over a month, you could minimize the amount of exercises. And the reason that we do it is because if I do a lot of exercises, I'm not going to fatigue the muscle the way I want to fatigue. I'm not going to fatigue the movement. Even forget about the muscles. I'm not going to fatigue the movement the way that I want to fatigue the movement. So the less exercises I'm going to do, I'm going to get more fatigue, more time under tension to develop that muscle and also to get better at it. And it will tax me more. By the 8th round, I'm going to be all out, okay, on the same movement. And this is what we want to check. We want to make sure that we can execute a good squat even in the 7th and 8th round. Even when we're tired and when we have no oxygen and our muscles are screaming, I still want to be able to execute that squat. So at your level, guys, I would suggest take that Tabata, take those 8 rounds, and pick 2 different exercises. Let's say if we're doing pushing and pulling, it's a great example and it's so easy. So I'll take 20 seconds pushing exercise, 20 seconds, and then 10 seconds break, and then 20 seconds I'll do a pulling exercise. Fine, good. What does that mean? Push-ups and pull-ups. That's the easiest thing, right? I'll do 20 seconds of push-ups and then 20 seconds of pull-ups. Great, I got it. That's a simple and very easy example to how we work, all right? And we can do a squat exercise. Well, squat basically involves a lot of muscles, so there's no really antagonist muscles to work on. Like, it's not that if you work the quads and the hamstrings when you do squats. That's the beauty of squats. You are working all of your legs, calves and hip flexors and quadriceps and hamstrings and glutes. They're all working. Up and down, they're all working. Same as lunge, by the way. So if I'm doing, for example, a squat exercise for 20 seconds, I can add a ab exercise, right? Let the legs rest for that 30 seconds. I'm gonna do some abs and then move back to the squat. Or if I really wanna fatigue and I really wanna kill the legs, and I encourage you to do that sometimes we need to do that, then add like a lower level, a downscale squat exercise. So I'll do the first 20 seconds with a heavy load, and then the next 20 seconds I'm gonna do, air squats or jump squats with the TRX, right? Get that cardio and get that movement. Jump squats are great. So these are just very simple examples to how we put the workout into tablets. Got 8 rounds, it's about 4 and something minutes, and start just taking a few exercises, put them into a few tabatas, and then poof, there you go. 45 minutes, 60 minutes are gone. Basically, it's not 60 minutes because remember, we talked about those 10 to 15 minutes that you do need to put into the mobility drills and the warm-up. And that's great because if you do jumping jacks for warm-up and knees to chest, you're burning calories already right off the start. And the warm-up, you can, we did it, we put it into the Tabata tablet also. We took the mobility exercise of the dog peeing and the lying down and the hip abduction, and we put it into 30 seconds work and 10 seconds break. So take the warm-up, jumping jacks, 20 seconds. Knees to chest, 20 seconds. Heels to butt, 20 seconds. Dynamic plank, 20 seconds. You got the core involved. Okay, very important. Sorry I didn't mention it before. Part of the mobility in the warm-up drills are core activation. We really, really need to engage our core, wake him up, wake our core muscles up before we start working out, because they are the base, they are the substructure that the whole muscles are sitting on. So we need that ground to be ready, those muscles to be engaged before we start squatting, before we start doing kettlebell swings, before we start doing overhead press. All of that is great, but we have to engage our core. So you know our core exercises, the planks and side planks and reverse planks, all those stuff are core exercises taken from the world of Pilates, and bring it into the warm-up and mobility drill portion of the workout. That will be 10 to 15 minutes, right? Got 40 minutes to do some tabatas, and then 5 minutes to do some just slow-paced, very low heart rate walk, just to get that blood flowing a little bit more. Don't need to stretch. My mantra, you don't need to stretch after the workout. You don't have to do that. Doesn't really do anything. You do need to stretch in a different setting. Pick up a day, pick up 2 days, 3 days, or do it in the evening. Do a 15 to 20 minutes good session of stretching, or even better, go to a yoga class, do some yoga, and you got that whole stretching thing covered up. Stretching is super important for everything that we're doing. You need your muscles to be long and in length, and this is, I can't even stress this enough, how important is stretching for your muscular structure. Super important. But it's not as people used to think or still think, as important to do it after the workout, after a strength workout. No. The recommendation after a strength workout, after a very high intensity interval training workout, is to do a 10 minutes medium paced walk. Just release, just get the muscles more blood, get the blood flowing and circulated in the body. Maybe get some lymphatic waste out. That's fine, but you don't need to do that whole stretching session that people do for like another 20 minutes after the workout. No need. And there is a very good anatomical explanation for that. I don't want to go into that now, but one of those videos I will explain to you about acutine and myosin and those proteins in the muscle that are working to do contraction and lengthening of the muscles, and why we don't need to do stretching. So back to our training, we said get that 15 minutes of warm-up and mobility drills, then get to the main course. Pick up 2 exercises for each Tabata. Make sure you're focusing, you don't have to focus only on legs or only on upper body. You for sure can mix it up. Girls, mix it up, no problem. Mix it up. Guys, if we're talking about building muscle, then I would split it up, okay? Because we want to fatigue those muscles, we want to build them bigger. Then yeah, if you're working upper body that day, stay on that upper body. If you're going for legs, go for legs and take 8 or 10 different Tabatas and do 2 different exercises for legs, and incorporate abs, okay? In order for the legs to rest, and you remember, we do need to get some rest in between to let the muscle, the tissue recover. She needs more ATP, CP. She needs to replenish the reserves of ATP, CP, and the ability to create energy. So yeah, move to and do some ab exercises. You can do some cardio exercises, but stay on the legs, right? Stay on the lower body area. Girls, it's a little different. We want to maximize calorie outtake, and we're not trying to build too much muscle mass, so we don't have to fatigue the entire system, of the legs or the hands. We could just fatigue, all in all, what we call total body workout, or that's what they call it, TBW, total body workout. It's fine, and it's even I'm gonna say that, girls, it's even better that if you take a Tabata of 8 rounds and you get 2 exercises, one for legs and one for, one for lower body and one for upper body, like a pushing pulling exercise, or and then the squatting exercise. Great, it's awesome, because then your legs get a little bit, they get 30 seconds to rest in between, not instead of having 10 seconds to rest, they get 30 seconds to rest in between each round, and that will just allow you to execute more efficiency, more reps, more weight, right? So we want that. There is, we still want to be efficient in the workout. Remember that. We don't want to get to a place that we don't know what we're doing and our technique is all effed up and we're just so tired, we're just, rounding our back to the ball. No, if you get to that situation, that means you need a little bit more break in between the exercises. If you see that you can't execute the same, squat, deep squat, and lifting the med ball and throwing it off the shoulder, and those 30 seconds between are not enough for you, and then you're not executing it right, then you know what you got to do. You got to get a different exercise in between. Get another exercise in between, 2 exercises in between. Instead of doing 2 exercises in the Tabata, do 4 exercises in the Tabata. And by the time you get to that ball again, you'll have that energy. I promise you. So you do that for a while. Another promise is that in 2 months, you're already going to be able to go back again to doing only those 2 exercises. You'll get better. But if you're not there, and if you're not executing the technique in the right way, I'm telling you right now, guys, forget about it. Add another 2 exercises to the Tabata. When we're doing a Tabata of 8 rounds with only 2 exercises, that's high level. Okay, guys, that's high level shit. We're not gonna do a Tabata of 1 exercise, because that's just, people do it. I don't see the point. I feel that it's too much. It's too much fatiguing, and we're not letting the ATP reserves to replenish, and then I'm not gonna execute the movement okay at the 8th round, unless I'm gonna really do very light loads, and then I don't encourage you guys to do that either. So remember, 2 exercises for a Tabata is great, but 4 is just fine, and each one of you is gonna pick it up. So what I wanna show you today is something that you guys don't have at the JCC, but it's a good example, and I'm sure if you want to, you guys can get a hold of it. If you got a backyard, if you live in a house and you have a backyard, I encourage you to have one of those things in your house, because it's a great way to build a whole workout. Super, calorie burning workout. It's got strength in it. It's got cardiovascular output, get your heartbeat up, and it's fun, and it's cheap, super cheap, guys. All right, it cost me basically nothing. So I'm talking about a tractor wheel. We're gonna go outside now, and I'm gonna show you guys the tractor wheel, the tire. Forgive me. So we got the tractor tire here. And I got it for free, found it in on the street, and it's pretty big, it's pretty heavy, weighs around, I have to guess like 50, 60 kilos. And what I got here is, wait a second, let me see if you can see it. All right, so we got here this hammer, 5 kilo hammer that you can buy in every Ace and Home Depot, all of those hardware stores. You got those hammers. That's all you need, guys. And that tire is free. And that 5 kilo hammer, I'm sure it doesn't cost more than $30 or $20, $30. It's pretty cheap. So yeah, that's all you need. And I'm gonna show you how we're gonna put this into a workout. How can I take this in my backyard and work out with these 2 simple tools, and how I'm going to do it in Tabata. Okay, so remember, we talked about Tabata being 8 rounds, 20 or 30 seconds or 45, doesn't really matter. Let's just say, for example, 20 seconds. Okay, 20 seconds round, 10 seconds break. How am I going to do that? I'm gonna start with a very easy one. I'm gonna take four exercises, and that means we're gonna do it twice. I'm not gonna do it twice, but just remember, this is the way the Tabata is. Four exercises on this tractor tire. It's pretty big, and with the Hummer. Maybe I'm gonna push the tire a little bit backwards. All right, guys. You gotta make sure that you guys see it. All right. Hopefully you guys can see it. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. First exercise that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slash the 5 kilo hammer into the tire. This exercise is super functional training, okay? It works on your abdominis, okay, right here. Every time I told you that the body works in slingshots, right? We're working in slingshots. So this movement goes right into that slingshot pattern. Okay, so I'm moving in a cross way. What am I gonna do? I'm just gonna smack the hammer into the tire, and we're gonna basically separate it. Okay, so we can say 20 seconds for each side, right? 20 seconds left, 20 seconds right. So let me show you, right? Grab the hammer right here. Hopefully you can see me. And as you can see, I'm grabbing it right here. Maybe this side. Again, watch here. And that's one side, and then I would switch and go on the other side. Right here, you just push this. So you notice, I'm picking up the hammer, holding it right here at the edge, one side right on top here, and I'm making this movement up and down. I'm mini squatting with my feet. I'm using my legs and I'm doing a little mini squat. I don't know if you noticed this, guys, but I did like this, going down to the tire. Very, mind working style workout, but super functional. Stuff that people used to do back in the day all the time. If you guys chop wood, same movement as chopping wood, right? With an axe. It's here, just like I'm going here, right here, and up, right. So we got 20 seconds doing that. 20 seconds left, 20 seconds right. Here we go, we got two exercises, right? Third exercise that we're gonna do. We're gonna deadlift that tractor tire and walk with it. So here we got a combination of strength, deadlift, and cardio, because we are gonna push the tire backwards and forward, right? So from right here, I'm gonna sumo deadlift here, lift the tire and flip it. You're gonna go back. Flip it here, maybe flip it forward so you guys can see, and then go backwards, just walk around, flip it. I'm sure you saw that stuff. People do it all the time. Super good. Get your heart rate up. I love this exercise. It's everything. It doesn't get more functional than lifting a tractor tire, just flipping it around. And you got the deadlift, which is, one of my favorite exercises, and get that heart rate up. Do that for 20 seconds or 30 seconds after we did the hammer, the 5 kilo hammer. And so for the fourth one, I can let you guys choose. We got two exercises for you guys for the fourth one. We can do a high cardio exercise because the heartbeat is gonna jump to the sky, but not everybody are willing. Not everybody are comfortable with jumping. I'm talking to you ladies. Sometimes, you know, it's not comfortable. Not everybody likes to jump. Not everybody can jump. Sometimes jumping is very psychological. It's up here. Okay, so what am I doing if I don't like the jumping exercise? I'm gonna do, okay, push-ups. Push-ups on the tire right here. I'm gonna do some push-ups on the tire up here. That's an option. I can also, guys, add the push-up to the, it's one of my favorite. I can add the push-up into the deadlift and flip. I'm gonna show you how right now, right? So I can go for one push-up, jump, flip the tire, and then again, push-up, jump, and then flip the tire. That's an option. If not, you could just get that 20 seconds push up into the top 10. The last one that I told you about is the jumping. Let me just take this back a little bit. So I'm gonna do side jumps in and out of the tire, right? Two legs together, in, out, up, in, out, in. Get your heart rate up. If you can jump, jump. If you can jump, I encourage you to jump. Super important to jump. It's not something that we want to give up on just because we're getting older. Don't do that. Don't be that guy. If you can jump, jump. And if you can, if it bothers you, if, you know, a little bit of wee-wee comes out, forget about it. Don't bother. Do the push-ups. And I just showed you how we took a simple tool like a tire and a 5-kilo hammer that you buy in a construction hardware store, Home Depot, and we just did a whole tabata. Just think about it, doing 4 of those tabatas, 5 of them. That's a whole workout. I'm telling you right now, that's a whole workout. If you do 5 of these, 6 of these in your backyard, you don't have to go to the gym. If you end up having such a beautiful day like it is here, super hot here in the Middle East, by the way, just so you know, it's December and winter is not coming. Toto is dying of heat here. And yeah, it's crazy weather. So if you do have the chance, use that. That's just one very, very good example to how we take 4 exercises, we put them into a tabata, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, work, 10 seconds rest, and we do a few of them. Make sure that we end up into a 35, 45 minutes workout, plus that 15 minutes of, you know, warm up, mobility, core activation, all of that, super important. Don't forget that. And hopefully I'm gonna be able to get you guys some more videos with more exercises. I know today I showed you exercises that you guys don't have in the JCC, but I do encourage you guys that if you are serious about your training goals, and this is a great tool to have at home, you can work with the kids with it. My kids love it. By the way, you know, we use it for sumo squats with deadlift. You guys know, look at me, you know, stand on the wheel, sumo squat with a kettlebell, get that full range of motion all the way down deep. And there's so many applications to work with the tire and the hammer, and they're super simple. And if you guys need more information about that, let me know. Send me, say, hey, we need some more videos with the tire. I'm gonna get some people, because I'm really sorry about the low tech guys. I don't have any really good equipment, so I'm gonna ask somebody to maybe get some more better angles to film it. So if you need it, let me know. I'll make some more videos of the tire and the hammer, and hopefully gonna make some more videos with the TRX that you guys can do at home. I'm gonna show you guys a few tabatas with the TRX. Got a lot of options with the TRX. With the band, with some weights in the gym, if you guys are in the gym. We're gonna go over all of it, only if you guys want. Let me know if it's good, if this long and frustrating video was helping you in any way. Let me know, because I'm not very good at it. But if I can help you, I want you guys to, you know, use those videos to help you and get you trained better. And you know, don't forget me, so that one day when I come back to Denver, you still remember who I am. So I miss you guys very much. Hopefully this video is going to be helpful. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.